What's going on, everyone? Trust the Buzz here. If you're new to the channel, I make daily Charlotte Hornets content, so if that interests you, make sure you go ahead and hit that subscribe button down below. If you cannot tell by the thumbnail or title of this video, in today's video, we're going to be talking about why the Charlotte Hornets have six open roster spots for the 20-man roster going into training camp. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get into the video. All right, so today I have for you an article written on SB Nation, written at the Hive, and it is by Chase Whitney. Thank you, Chase. And I'm just reacting. Go ahead and read the whole article. I'm not going to talk about the entire article because Chase put in work for this article. So I'm not just going to sit here and read it for y'all. Make sure you go check it out. I'll put the link down in the description below. But essentially what he talks about in this article is there's 20 roster spots when it comes into going into training camp. And if you look at teams reported by Kevin Smith, who's a good follow on Twitter, if you look at the Eastern Conference, look at the teams that have 5 or more roster spots open. All right. So you have Brooklyn, who we know that the KD saga has resolved itself, but I still think the Nets feel like they have things to do. They still have a roster to fill. They still need to build that roster because we know the bench isn't as good as it should be. While it has gotten better because you do have Kyrie, KD, Ben Simmons. What do you have after that? Royce O'Neal is not a needle mover. You do have a healthy Joe Harris now, but there are still things that need to be fixed. Like you're missing Andre Drummond now. So these are the type of things you got to think about. But there was a possibility that could have been that was just resolved. So there was a possibility KD and Kyrie could have been traded. So you need a roster spot. All right, we'll skip Charlotte for now, even though I know you see they have 6. And then you have Indiana, who is in the mix for everything. They're in the mix with the Lakers. They're in the mix with maybe even Donovan Mitchell. They're in the mix for a lot of stuff. And it's said that the Pacers are still looking for being somewhat of a contender. Maybe not NBA title contender, but we're not just going to lie down and enter into a Victor Wembanyama, Scoot Henderson, whoever you like more, sweepstakes. We want to see how far this team can go because we feel like we have a talented team. So therefore, they're keeping roster spots open. Then you go down to New York Knicks, who they are trying to change their roster around, do what they can, maybe get Donovan Mitchell. If they don't get Donovan Mitchell, what's the next step? These are things that we don't know, but we see that they're trying to get off Julius Randle somehow, maybe not even involved with the Donovan Mitchell trade. And also, Utah wouldn't want Donovan Mitchell, but they're still trying to get rid of Julius. So these are just things you got to think about that all these teams are going to. So then that leaves us, the Charlotte Hornets, with 6 open roster spots. It's very easy to be like, this is Mitch Kupchak. He's, because of what happened with Miles, he's taking it slow. Yeah, of course. That's super reasonable. That's probably one of the most reasonable things, which I feel like Chase brings that up in his article. It's the offseason. Let's have some fun with it. This could also mean that we're also in the market for moves. September 7th, Miles Bridges court update. That's when he goes to court. That's when they say, hey, is this going to trial? Or did y'all already settle this outside of trial? If it's already settled outside of trial, then the NBA will have to go down and put down their sanctions. So is Miles Bridges going for good? He's going for a season. He's going for a couple of games. However the NBA sees fit, that is what's going to happen after that. So that's a possibility, is if the Hornets are waiting on that date, all right, there's no way we can have Miles back. He's suspended indefinitely or whatever the case may be. Let's go ahead and fill out these roster spots. Let's go ahead and trade Taylor Rozier. Let's go ahead and maybe get something for Gordon Hayward. Anything at this point. And then let's just bring in a bunch of young guys, see what we got, see who makes the roster. Let's roll from there. That could be an option. Or it could be we're trying to get Donovan Mitchell. We don't know what it will take necessarily to get Donovan Mitchell, so we have to stay open. You never know, rather, where these different players could be moved to and how could they be moved. We could be part of a Donovan Mitchell trade and not get Donovan Mitchell. You know what I mean? It could be a 3-team trade. These are things you have to think about. And then let's say Miles does come back. For whatever reason, let's say Miles comes back and misses only like a couple. Well, I say a couple of games. I mean a few games, like maybe 20. But whatever the game is, the Hornets are comfortable with that. All right, so now they're like, hey, we got to build our roster. We saw what we had last year. It quite wasn't enough. Yeah, Gordon Hayward being healthy would have been nice, but it is what it is. Let's build out this roster. So let's sign the Kemba Walkers. Let's sign, I know the players want Isaiah Thomas back. Let's get players that can help us win now because they still need a competent center. We know Mason Plumlee isn't the answer, and Mark Williams is a rookie. It's a lot asking him for a team that wants to make the playoffs. So these are just things you got to think about. There is a reason they have 6 roster spots open, and I personally don't feel like it is just a way. While that makes the most sense because of the way the front office has acted this offseason with the Miles situation, I personally just think it's more to that. I understand they're waiting for the Miles situation. That's kind of what my theory is based off of. But I think they're leaving that 6th spot open is because once that is settled, I think we're going to see major changes. I don't think they're going to run the same team back. I highly doubt it at this point, with it being August 26th now, and there's still 6 roster spots out of 20. I personally think that once it is decided what is going on with Miles, we're going to see them really try to go and make this team better if Miles is able to play, or we're going to see them deconstruct the entire team, because there's no point of trying to force this team into the playoffs, because they make it to the playoffs, they make it to the AC. What now? They don't get much better unless Melo just all of a sudden is just LeBron James. You know what I mean? With this roster, it doesn't get that much better. Even if you were to make the playoffs this season, that's a this season thing, and then probably next season you're out again. You know what I mean? So that I really see that this 6 is important to the Charlotte Hornets roster. But that's all I got to say. I just think it's something to think about, something to look at, because it is interesting why they are one of the few teams that have 6 open roster spots, and other teams that have 5 or more are teams that have been in rumors of all kinds. And the Hornets have been in rumors of all kinds, but I think that's just because the media gets to speculate because of the thing with Miles. But I really feel like something's brewing. I don't know when it's going to happen. I don't know if it will happen, but you never know. Anyway, so I know this is a Saturday. Well, I'm recording this on Friday, but I'm releasing it Saturday morning. Starting on Monday, the upcoming Monday, I'm going to be releasing daily again. I finally just have enough content ideas to release daily. I stopped releasing daily just because of the fact it is the off season. There wasn't much to talk about. Well, I made stuff to talk about, so it may not be the most interesting thing in the world, but it is going to be content every day from here on out. Definitely into the regular season, I was going to do daily, but I needed something to get me there. These videos are going to take like a little research and things like that. So I don't know. They might be every other day, but it's going to be close as daily as possible. It's not going to be 3 times a week or 1 time a week, how it's been recently. So make sure you go ahead and hit that subscribe button. And thank you so much for watching. Let me know what you think this 6 represents. It could absolutely mean nothing, but like I said, it is off season, so we are here to have fun. We are here to speculate because the front office hasn't given us anything else to do. So just let me know what you think down in the comment section below, and I'll see y'all next time. Peace.